If you've ever felt like your Japanese sounds a little too much like it came straight out of a textbook, you are in the right place. Today, we're going to crack the code on the one thing that will make you sound way more natural, the Japanese short form. Let's jump right in. So, you've probably put in the hours, right? You've got your polite desu and masu forms down perfectly, and that's awesome. You absolutely need those. But have you ever noticed that when you're just hanging out with friends, it can feel a little stiff, a little too formal? It's like you're keeping them at arm's length. Well, that's the gap we're going to close today.
We're about to learn how to shift gears from what's called tei-ni-kei, that's the polite stuff you already know, to futsu-tai. This is the plain or normal style. And honestly, this is the Japanese you hear in real life. It's the language of friendship, it's what you hear in anime, it's just everyday Japan.
Now, here's a really important mindset shift. The plain form is not a simplified or, lesser version of Japanese. It's actually the opposite. This is the root form, the dictionary form of the language. It's the very foundation. And once you know what to look for, you are going to start seeing it absolutely everywhere, from manga panels to text messages from your friends. Okay, first things first. Let's tackle verbs. This is the big one, the one you're going to use all the time. But the good news, the rule is so simple. And here it is. That's the whole secret. To take a verb from its polite form to the plain form, all you do is use its dictionary form. You just drop that masu ending. So nomimasu, to drink, just becomes nomu. That's it. Let's see it in a full sentence. So instead of the more formal, watashi wa kohi o nomimasu, with a friend, you just say, watashi wa kohi o nomu. Can you hear the difference? It's just a little more direct, a little more relaxed. It flows. Let's do another one. The verb ikimasu, to go, becomes, you guessed it, iku. So the whole sentence is, kare wa mainichi gakkou e iku. See? The pattern's already starting to click, isn't it? All right, last one for verbs. Mimasu, to see or to watch, becomes miru. Watashitachi wa ashita eiga o miru. And just like that, you've pretty much nailed the biggest rule of the short form. Now, let's see how this same easy logic works with adjectives. Okay, next up, we've got our i-adjectives. And look, if you thought the verb rule was easy, well, this is about to feel like a cheat code. It's even easier. For any adjective, like amai this, which means it is sweet, all you have to do is drop the des. That's it. That's the whole rule. The adjective itself stays exactly the same. For example, kono ringo wa amai. It's simple, it's to the point, and it's exactly how you'd say it to a buddy. This apple is sweet. Done. The same exact logic applies here. Omoshiroi desu, it is interesting, becomes just omoshiroi. Sono hon wa omoshiroi. Easy peasy. And one more for good measure. Instead of saying the full, polite, kyou no tenki wa samui desu, you just say, kyou no tenki wa samui. Perfect. You're already sounding more natural.
Okay, let's bring it home. We're going to finish up our rules with the last two groups, na-adjectives and nouns. And the best part is, they follow the exact same rule, so we get a 2-for-1 deal here.
Now, pay close attention because this is the one key difference you have to remember. For both na-adjectives and nouns, you don't drop the desu. Instead, the polite desu changes to da. So, desu becomes da. That's the whole move. Let's look at a na-adjective. Shizuka this, it is quiet, becomes shizuka da. Kono heya wa shizuka da. Hear that? That da at the end gives it a more definitive, informal feel. And now for a noun. It works the exact same way. Gakusei desu is a student, turns into gakusei da. Kare wa gakusei da. You see? One simple rule, and we've just covered 2 whole categories of words. All right, we've just covered the 3 core rules for making the present tense short form. So let's take a second, step back, and look at the whole system all in one place. And here it is. This is the whole shebang on one slide. For verbs, you go to the dictionary form. For i-adjectives, you just drop desu. And for na-adjectives and nouns, desu becomes da. This is your cheat sheet. Seriously, pause right here, take a screenshot, write this down. This table is the key to casual spoken Japanese. So why is this all so important? Because what we're learning here isn't just a bunch of grammar rules. It's about closing that gap between sounding like a student reading from a book and sounding like a real person having a real conversation. This form is the key. It unlocks everything.
Of course, everything we talked about today has been in the present tense, and it's all been affirmative, saying that something is. Which brings up the next obvious question, right? What about when something isn't? Or when you're talking about the past? Well, that's a great question, and it's exactly what we're going to dive into next time. Hope to see you then, and thanks for hanging out with me today.